members, again, of this band, they come from the 6 Huntington Beach Union High School District schools and some local middle schools, too. Look at how they are doing. They are doing a great job. This is the house band, the members. They've been practicing together for weeks to put on this great performance, so we certainly appreciate them. Great job.
Colleen, look what we have coming up right behind them. This is another winner, the Parade Sweepstakes Award. They call it 5th and PCH. And we see this float representing the 5th and PCH. It's a downtown collection of restaurants and retailers and includes the fabulous Shorebreak Hotel overlooking the beach and the pier. 5th and PCH is excited to be part of the 4th of July Parade for the 3rd time. And on the float today, we see Miss Huntington Beach 2019, Queen Lily Orlando and her court, Princess Sage McCluskey and Princess Mara Jane. 5th and PCH sponsors the Miss Huntington Beach Scholarship Pageant in cooperation with the Huntington Beach Sand Dog.
Oh, well, let's look at this. If you can't get your heart warmed by looking at these pooches, here they are. Welcome the unique contingent from the Big Dog Cart Company as they make their way up Main Street. They are the winner of the parade's Novelty Award. They're celebrating the launch of their new business dedicated to delivering quality of life for mobility challenge large breeds so they can get out and have some fun. Anyone who's had a big dog, you know how hard it is to transport your dog to the vet or just to take them for a little walk. So they do a great job. Again, Big Dog Cart marching down, wheeling down through Main Street.
I love that, seeing those little pooches out there and getting to enjoy the time. They're probably wondering what the heck is going on. So here we go. This colorful float representing the Brave Ones Foundation. They brought a whole band with them. Colleen, how fun is that? They're really kind of picking up the energy right now. It is a Huntington Beach-based nonprofit focused on creating childhood joy by raising awareness and resources for children in need. So we salute them as well. How fun is that? Look at the big group of children walking right behind them, and how fun.
I want to get on that stage and dance, but they are doing a great job rocking this crowd. All right, well, let's now go to one of our reporters. Greg Lee, you are live with someone very near and dear to this community.
Honored to be with Mayor Eric Peterson. Mayor, before I get to what a great job your city has done, you are a Marine, so tell us what it means to have this on this special day.
This is the best day of the year. This celebrates the birth of the best nation in the world, and I'm so proud to be the mayor of this city.
Mayor, what do you want to say to the people that have lined up since 7 a.m., been a part of this, and have come from all over to celebrate in your city?
Hey, this is the biggest parade this side of the Mississippi. Welcome.
Mayor, last thing, you give a message to our troops overseas. What would you say to them on this special day?
We're behind you and keep up the fight.
Mayor, thank you. Have a great time. Happy 4th of July.
Look.
All right, we have another flyover going on right now. One of 4 flyovers that we're going to be enjoying this afternoon. Take a look at that, the Coast Guard helicopter. What a beautiful sight that is, Colleen.
It really is. This is the Coast Guard MH-65 Dolphin helicopter, and it's used for search and rescue missions all along the coast. It is highly capable chopper, usually carries a crew of 4, a pilot, a co-pilot, a flight mechanic, and a rescue swimmer. These people, when they are going into rescue operation, it is such a sight to see how trained they are. We want to make sure you know the 115th annual Huntington Beach 4th of July Parade. They've teamed up with the Pacific Air Show to add some exciting aerobatic displays also from vintage and current aircraft.
All right, let's go to Eileen Fair. We got to remember our vets. This is the perfect time, Eileen.
Absolutely. We are here with Tech Sergeant Doris Zavala, 99 years old. She served in World War II. Thank you so much for your service.
Oh, you're welcome.
What does July 4th mean to you?
Oh, it's a great celebration. Great celebration for everybody, especially me.
You're going to be turning 100 in November.
Right.
Yep. And what do you remember during your time? What stands out for you?
During my time in the service?
Yes.
A lot of work, a lot of hard work, a lot of everything that was going on, trying to keep America safe, and we did.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for your service. Doris Zavala, Army Sergeant.
Minnie Mouse, I don't know what.
Wonderful. We have to remember our vets, and this is amazing. We have World War II vets with us right now in this Huntington Beach Parade, and that That war ended 75 years ago, Colleen, but what an amazing time for this country, and these are the bravest men and women you can imagine.
And there are few and few each year, so we certainly do have to. Oh, the high five! That is so cute. All right, well, let's talk about the American Legion Post 133. You can see them making their way through on the trucks. All members of the American Legion Post 133, the American Legion Huntington Beach Post 133, celebrating 100 years of service to the community this year. What a celebration. They do so much. They help veterans provide patriotic education in the classroom, and they serve the community in so many ways. So it's certainly great to see them. It's wonderful to see their patriotism right there.
On Independence Day, boy, this is absolutely fantastic. My father was in the Army. He was a lifer in the Army. I grew up on military bases around the world, in fact. And I will tell you that it takes a special person to give that kind of a sacrifice. And here is an opportunity for us to recognize these folks who have given so much for our country. And they just kind of meld back into society. You have no idea who the vets are, who they aren't. But on a day like today, we could say hello and we salute you and thank you so much for your service.
We certainly do salute them.
That is loud. That is loud.
They're trying to get the crowds fired up, and it is working right now.
Yeah. If you're wondering, that loud horn is coming from the tan vehicle with the flags on the side with our vets inside of it, and it says American Legion on it. And yeah, you've got our attention, folks, and that is great to hear from you.
All right. Oh, look at this.
Then we have Disneyland Resort. Exciting to be participating in the Huntington Beach 115th 4th of July parade. Minnie Mouse, you know who she is honored to be named this year's Children's Grand Marshal. How perfect is that, Colleen?
It is perfect.
I know.
Minnie and Justin, they're riding in the Disneyland Resort's white vis-a-vis carriage being pulled by Bug and Finn. Let's go to Greg Lee. He's with Minnie right now. Greg.
Colleen, I'm with our boss, the beautiful Minnie Mouse, our children's Grand Marshal. She can't talk because she's so beautiful, but Justin can talk, an ambassador from Disney. Justin, how fun is this for Disney to be a part of?
Oh, it's an incredible day to come out here with our cast members from Circle D Ranch. So many cast members work really hard to make this happen. And it's just a pleasure being out here in the community in Huntington Beach, having a great time.
Justin, Disney does a lot to help our troops and support our troops. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we're always looking to make sure that we're doing what we can, not just in our community, but globally, and that really taking care of our troops and all of our military personnel. We have a great diversity resource group called Salute, dedicated to those cast members who actually served in the military itself. So always looking for new ways we can make sure that we continue to give back.
Happy 4th, Minnie. We love you. Kisses. Thank you.
We certainly do love Minnie Mouse. You're taking a live look at the Coast Guard doing the flyover ahead. There is so much more to see here. We are covering everything from the 115th annual 4th of July parade at Huntington Beach. We'll be right back.
Colleen, taking a shot of the beautiful beach here in Huntington Beach.
One of our resources here to give you the best views, especially of this 4th of July parade. You're looking, though, at Main Street. We're going to see all the sights and sounds. Take a look at that right there.
Yeah.
This never disappoints.
This is always a real crowd pleaser, Colleen. Here comes a big fire truck from the Huntington Beach Fire Department. Every year, the Fire Department and the Fire Association honor one of their own with the Firefighter of the Year award. Riding with the firefighters on Truck 45R, Firefighter of the Year, Captain Steve Teasdale, and his family, and of course, Sparky the fire dog.
And following the fire truck, you're going to see right there is a Marine Safety Lifeguard truck carrying Lifeguard of the Year, Leslie Schween. Last year, more than 13 million people visited Huntington Beach. You can see it right there, Leslie Schween coming through this area. The lifeguards performed more than 5,400 ocean rescues and assisted another 192,000 beachgoers. So, of course, this is Surf City, USA. The lifeguards are so paramount in this community as well. So, again, you're looking at the fire department and you are looking at the lifeguards.
Right, and that's why when we do those, we see those flyovers, and we realize that those helicopters that have been flying over have saved countless lives here at Huntington Beach, in the surf, on the beach, etc., and we salute them as well.
We certainly do. We know when it's high surf, we know they are on alert, and of course, every day, this is an area that sees a lot of surfers.
All right, coming up next, the parade's teen grand marshal this year is Gabriel Bateman. She may be young, but this seasoned actor has multiple projects underway. He is currently starring as Andy in the relaunch of the horror franchise Child's Play. It's in theaters right now.
Oh, I'm always scared of these kind of movies, but he's also going to star as the voice of Charlie in the animated film Playmobil. The movie is also featuring the voices of Daniel Radcliffe and Adam Lambert. All right, let's go back over to Greg Lee. Greg, Eileen Frere. Eileen Frere, sorry, Eileen.
Hey there. Well, we've got Gabriel right in person. Gabriel, you have done so much already. You have to remind people how old you are.
I'm 14. I turned 15 this year, in September.
And I have to say, because this is putting you on the spot, well, what's your favorite role so far?
Right now, Andy Barkley from Child's Play, just because that's the most recent thing I've done.
And that's the relaunch.
Yeah.
That's right. What's it like to be in the parade?
Just overwhelming. I mean, I've never done anything like this before. I'm just super grateful to be able to do this.
Who's with you?
This is my mom. She doesn't like to be on camera, I don't think.
Well, happy 4th of July.
All right, that's wonderful. Gabriel, congratulations. That's wonderful. We can put our hands together now and salute the Interfaith float representing the Greater Huntington Beach Interfaith Council.
Yes, and they're participating in the parade for the 19th time. The Interfaith Council was founded in 1996 by the City Council to promote faith-based understanding and harmony in the diverse city. The riders and walkers are all part of the Huntington Beach community's many faith traditions, and more than 30 congregations participate in the annual community events, including the Blessing of the Waves at the Pier in September, the Thanksgiving Interfaith Service, plus community service projects all over the area.
Fantastic. It's great to see them. The sights and sounds of this parade are pretty amazing, Colleen. I mean, it's music, it's horns from vehicles, it's the crowd cheering. We can't even hear ourselves talk, but I think that's a wonderful thing.
It really is. We're listening to their partying tunes as they roll on through there.
Okay, next we're going to welcome the California State Guard Cavalry Detachment. The 26th Cav is stationed at the Joint Forces Training Base in Los Alamitos, California, and is under the command of Major Frank Quambo. Also marching today is the 26th Cav mascot, Private First Class Angel.
All right, and their mission is to provide a state military reserve force under the executive control of the governor. So the California State Guard is meant to be capable to accomplish state emergency responsibilities normally assigned to the National Guard when the Guard is federalized or otherwise not available.
All right, have you ever had a time in your life when you just need a little assist, maybe just a little boost? Well, here in Surf City, there's a group dedicated to doing just that. For the 7th year, here comes the award-winning Assistance League of Huntington Beach, driving her 1950 Woody is Bev Konkota, joined by league president Chris Vollmer.
All right, well, now let's go back over to Greg Lee. Greg, you're with a very special guest.
Colleen David, a man that is no stranger to the Huntington Beach Parade, Tim Conway Jr., the very venerable. You're walking. Tell me why you're walking.
The heater's on in that car, and I can't shut it off.
Tim, you've been a large part of this parade for a very long time. You've been the Grand Marshal. What keeps you coming back, and what makes this parade so special?
It's got to be the people. I mean, you come down here, and everybody, watch this. Ding dong with you people. People down here listen to KFI. They watch Channel 7. It's a great combination.
When you talk about celebrating our country on the 4th of July, why is Surf City, USA the place to go? And to see all these people that have waited since 7 a.m. to be here.
Right. This is the Midwest of California, but it's at the beach. This is like being at Cleveland or in Chicago. And a lot of these people here have background and heritage of Midwestern towns, and it's all the feel of this small town here, plus the beach, no snow. It's a winner.
Beautiful. Tim, happy 4th of July for you.
Nice
Good to see you.
Wonderful. Tim Conway Jr., we love seeing him. He's part of our tradition as well here on ABC7 as the sun is coming out. It is time now to listen to St. Paul's Lutheran Band. It's comprised of young musicians grades 3 through 8, so these are kiddos.
Oh, I know. I love it. It's so much fun. Let's listen in. Great job.
Oh my God, stages, grades 3 through 8, but they're handling it just beautifully. So let's go now to Eileen Frere. Hey, Eileen.
Hey there. Well, I'm with Huntington Beach City Council member Jill Hardy. You are 4th generation Huntington Beach resident.
And this guy's 5th generation.
Yeah. And who else is here with you?
This is my son Alec Moore, and then his friend Rocco, and then we have our driver and his wife, and they've been lovely. Their first parade, my 15th.
Well, I was going to say, your family, this is a lot of memories here, huh?
Yes, my grandfather came here in 1926, and the parade has changed routes over time, but my mother would talk about knowing it was time to wake up when she heard the tanks rolling in, and it's been a lot of years, a lot of fun.
Well, I wish you a happy 4th.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, we'll throw it back to you, David and Colleen.
All right, Colleen. Eileen, thank you so much as I'm sitting here with Colleen. And Colleen, as we always say, that sun starts peeking out just a few minutes into the parade. It is out right now. This is the 115th annual Huntington Beach Parade. A lot more to see. We'll be right back. so cute. Welcome back to the Huntington Beach Parade, and look at the knee-high minis. These miniature horses are always a highlight of the parade, and they are bred and owned by Vicki Thomas and her family. Did you know, Colleen, the miniature horse breed originated in the 1600s in Europe? They were a creation of breeding down from full-size horses.
Amazing. It's so much fun to see. Your daughter's going to want one of those little knee-high minis.
Every time I see one, I think, I can fit that in my backyard, I think. That's so cute.
You might, but they'd want to be inside and probably sleeping in our bedroom, too.
Maybe so.
There's the problem.
Not as much room there.
No. Hey, look at these two. These are two of our favorite people to work with. Let's go to Greg Lee. You are with some special guests, Greg.
Well, here's some familiar faces. Leslie Lopez, Dallas Raines. You guys said this over to come out, and here we are.
Yeah, it's like perfect. Leslie got the forecast absolutely perfectly today.
I just copied Dallas.
You guys, this is always such a fun event in Dallas. Obviously, you're no stranger to this. Tell me how fun Orange County is.
Yeah, it's just the best. You know, I love the OC. Always have. I have a little second place I live in down in Orange County. And what a beautiful day, too, to celebrate the 4th of July. Have beautiful Leslie with me. I mean, life is good. Her husband, though, is behind us, so I have to be a really good boy.
Leslie, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. We've heard your forecast all week, but how's the rest of the day going to shape up?
It's
going to be beautiful. This is probably going to go on the records as one of the nicest 4th of Julys. It's beautiful temperature-wise.
Right.
Just wear the sunscreen, guys.
And we love Huntington Beach.
Yeah, all the great people. Very happy, very
just a
festive.
great city. Surf City.
All right, we love both of you guys. Happy 4th of July.
Wonderful. Great seeing Dallas and Leslie. And look at this. Up above them, we have a flyover number 3 that is coming our way, Colleen. This is John Culver with his what's called an SNJ 5 Texan. Well, I guess maybe not.
We're going to get to the Texan.
Be patient. Wait, it disappeared, but it's coming. It's coming. So that flyover is going to be absolutely beautiful, and he's going to be in a little trainer that's going to actually throw some smoke on the parade.
Well, hey,
it'll be a lot of fun to see.
We are going to see the smoke, but Leslie and Dallas just talking about that marine layer burning off. You can see our eyewitness news trucks. They are always fanned out through this whole area covering the news, but we are going to get to them in 1 second. But you're looking at another parade.
Yeah, next up, your favorite local supermarkets, Albertsons, Vons, and Pavilions. Last month,
there's the smoke, David. I can see the smoke right above our head.
Yeah.
Again, we're trying to capture that shot. We're going to give it to you in 1 second. There it is. That's the SNJ5 Texas. You see it with the smoke right there. John Culver, he is flying it. This is a World War II trainer, David. These are so incredible to see. They were so useful also.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic sight. We've seen a couple of sets of helicopter flyovers now. We see a prop plane, and he's making a big show of it right now over the Huntington Beach Parade. So let me get back to what I was talking about when it comes to Albertsons, Vons, and Pavilions, because it's something very special to ABC7. We, along with them, partnered together for the 8th annual Feed SoCal Food Drive, and with your generous support, collected millions of pounds of non-perishable items for food banks across Southern California. And the grocery chains, Huntington Beach stores, are also helping raise money to put on this amazing event by selling official 4th of July merchandise.
Well, look at this. Speaking of merchandise, you're looking at this big old huge Boeing balloon making its way down Main Street. This is the company's vintage fire truck as well, I guess, coming out with not only their fire truck and their balloon making their way. It's guided by Boeing employees dressed in red. As you can see, everyone's clapping as they make their way down. The members of the Boeing Veteran Engagement Team, they're riding in the vintage Boeing fire truck. Boeing is one of Southern California's most innovative employers and longtime parade sponsors. We know they're very, very involved in the community. So stay with us. You're going to see many more sights and sounds from the 4th of July parade in Huntington Beach. looking at our live coverage of the 4th of July parade here in Huntington Beach. Right now, the next float making its way down Main Street is the Boy Scouts of America and carries the youngest Boy Scouts, the Lion and Tiger Cubs from Huntington Beach and Fountain Valley. These kids, they represent the future leaders of tomorrow. This is the 22nd year for the Tiger Cub floats.
Some of the Lion Cubs we have here today are starting their scouting careers at the age of just 5. So the little tiny kiddos. Uh-oh.
We're having an earthquake right now.
Oh, there's an earthquake going on right now.
I felt it, a little rumbling right underneath the stage. I thought, is that wind? It's still happening, David. I see the water bottles shaking over there.
Yeah, we might have to go into news mode here for a second, but stay tuned. We're going to try to
shaking.
we're going to try to. This earthquake, depending on where it's coming from, it could be really powerful if we're feeling it right now, because our platform is moving, but we may not necessarily be close to the epicenter.
No, but you can feel the little rumbling, and you can see some of our photographers sort of grabbing, placing themselves.
Our producers are working on it right now. We're going to try to get you as much information as possible. That could have been a really powerful quake, depending on where it's coming from. So we're sitting in Huntington Beach right now, obviously in Orange County. We felt it pretty good here, Colleen.
Right when we felt the earthquake, then we heard about the earthquake, and then, you know, if you feel it, you never know where the epicenter is. We all know earthquakes, but it was felt all across Southern California, also felt in the Inland Empire. We know people are tuning in to our coverage of the 4th of July parade, but we also know people are tuning in to figure out, did we just have an earthquake? Yes, we did just have an earthquake. We're finding out the exact numbers, where it was centered and how deep it was, but we all felt it.
Bear with us while we try to get an epicenter. We're going to have that in a matter of moments. I can't tell if we're still moving or not, but it's interesting how the ground started shaking and everybody actually said, you can see the whole crowd feel it, and
then look around.
Looking around, and then you'll notice the parade is kind of slowed down right now as we try to figure out what exactly is going on and where this quake originated out of. But I will tell you that it was felt all across Southern California. So that means it's a sizable quake, Colleen. It's not just in one little region. We're in Orange County. Inland Empire felt it as well. Los Angeles felt it as well. As we try to get more information, our producers are working on it right now. But we're on an elevated platform, so we were actually shaking like this.
Yeah, we felt it, and then we stopped, and you first thing you want to do is you want to get underneath. So
okay, Greg Lee's on the parade route, and people in the crowd are already talking about it. Greg, what do you have for us?
Yeah, David, again, we're going into news mode a little bit, but all of us are getting text messages, people saying water going out of their pools in Claremont, it being felt in Desert Hot Springs. Jim is sitting right here in the front in the good seats. Jim, you actually felt it. Just tell me what it was like.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a 5.3. No, I don't know at all. But it was a mover. I'm very susceptible to earthquakes, as I've been in a few. So, yeah, it was moving.
Jim, how long were you shaking, can you estimate?
About 10 seconds. From start to finish,
Okay, good, Jim. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the rest of the parade. Yeah, guys. So even right here on the parade route, certainly felt that shaker.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Thank you so much. All right, the parade is continuing, but we're getting some more information on this quake, and it is a very powerful quake that just hit California. It is an area called Searles Valley, and it's a 6.6. That's extremely powerful, Colleen. This quake, we're trying to get exactly where Searles Valley is, but a 6.6 quake is very powerful, and we're zeroing in on it now. It's near Death Valley
and Sequoia National Forest. So people who are in the Ridgecrest area, in the Skytop area, of Valley Wells area. So we're trying to get the exact location of it. But again, 6.6. A lot of people felt this earthquake. We're certainly going 6.6, correct?
Right,
yes.
6.6. That's extremely powerful. We're going to do dual reporting here. We're going to continue on with this parade, but also we're going to give you information as we get it. So, Searles Valley, 6.6 earthquake. We're trying to get confirmation. It is in the Mojave Desert, Colleen. We don't have any confirmation of any damage or injuries, but I will tell you that is one of the more powerful quakes that we've seen in quite some time. And you can feel it all over Southern California.
We certainly did, and we're going to find out what kind of damage, if there were any injuries. Of course, a lot of the police and fire units are going to probably go out, assess if there's any damage. But again, if you have any video or anything, please post it on ABC7 using that hashtag ABC7 Eyewitness. So it would be great to see it.
Yeah, let's do some social media on it. We'll try to get more information for you and keep people abreast of the situation. But back to the parade, Colleen, and this is the Alexandria Marching Band, and we want to welcome them to Huntington Beach. They came all the way from Minnesota to perform in today's parade. They have been a competitive marching unit since the early 1980s. The band marches extensively in the states of Minnesota during June and July, and then takes major road trips every other year, and this is one of them, obviously.
Yeah, they also travel to Norway and perform there as well. Also, the past performances of the band include 1985 Cotton Bowl Parade, the 1990 and 1998 Tournament of Roses Parade, so they're no strangers to Southern California, and the Fiesta Bowl Parade in 2000.
All right, once again, if you are just tuning in, you probably felt an earthquake. We are covering that as well as the Huntington Beach Parade right now. That earthquake coming from the Mojave Desert at 6.6, so it was powerful, and you can hear it or feel it all over Southern California. There it is. Searles Valley is said to be the epicenter, that it's in the Mojave Desert. If there's any good news in all of this, Colleen, it's an area that is not highly populated and doesn't have a lot of buildings. So we're hoping that the damage reports are pretty low.
We certainly are, but you know, when you are anywhere near a 6.6 magnitude earthquake, you are going to feel it. It is certainly scary, and we are certainly trying to find out if there's any reports of any damage or any sort of injuries.
In the meantime, the 115th annual Huntington Beach Parade, 4th of July Parade, is underway, and I love this, the marching unit with the Revolutionary War uniforms. We want to welcome the Orange County chapter of Sons of the American Revolution. What an appropriate appearance here in this Independence Day Parade, Colleen.
Well, this group, David, has been serving Orange County for more than 50 years, and they have been in this parade since 1988, which we were talking about. So this makes it their 32nd year. We're going to go to Eileen Frere now. She has a celebrity guest with her right now. Eileen.
Hey there, we've got Joni Sprague. She was a contestant on America's Next Top Model. She's now known for the Trading Spaces. You are a carpenter on that show, but first off, a little bit of news mode here. Earthquake hit.
I think I felt it. I think I felt something, yeah. That was weird. Kind of like I felt like I was dizzy. Yeah, it was weird.
Well, yeah, they're saying 6.6 at this point.
Oh my gosh, really? Wow, that's big.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and on to you. You went from a model to a carpenter. How did that happen?
You know, it was natural for me. I just kind of went back to my roots and how I grew up, and it's awesome. I love it.
You were doing carpentry early on?
Yeah, since I was probably, 16? Yeah.
And what I love, you've got a program to help other women who want to learn.
Yes, I do. I teach classes here in Huntington Beach once a month to do power tools. It's awesome.
You're also a Huntington Beach resident.
Yes, I am. I live right down the street.
How great is this to be part of the parade?
I am so honored, you guys. This is so crazy. I love this. Thank you so much.
Great crowd.
Great crowd. Awesome.
Well, I want to wish you a happy 4th.
You too. Happy 4th, guys. Hi. Hi, Scott at home.
That's really sweet. Happy 4th of July to you, Joni, and wonderful hearing from her. And as you can say, the spirits remain high, but we are still dealing with getting information about the earthquake, a 6.6 that hit just moments ago. And we understand that it was Mojave Desert, but if you're wondering where it is or the epicenter is, we've calculated that it is somewhere between Bakersfield and Las Vegas.
In Searles Valley. So we're still trying to ascertain what kind of damage, if there was any damage, if there are any reports of injuries, what exactly, see any video. Again, if anyone has any video, post it with the hashtag ABC7 Eyewitness. We could certainly use any of the information you have, but we're trying to figure out exactly, this is a pretty isolated area, so, you are our eyes and ears as well.
Back to the parade. Greg Lee has a special council member for us. Greg?
Yeah, David, as we kind of try and get back to normalcy here, this is Councilmember Mike Posey. Mike, how fun of an event is this for your city to host?
This is awesome. I live on Main Street. I bought my house on Main Street 20 years ago, and I've been watching it from the front row every year for 20 years, and it's what inspired me to get involved to serve my city.
Mike, you've had a unique view of this. Can you describe how it's changed and grown over the last 2 decades?
Yeah, we've actually grown up from a quiet beat town. We still have that vibe downtown, but we're getting a little bit more modern. We've got some great new shopping in town. We've got great restaurants. We've turned into a world-class destination. We're branded all over the world. We get 17 million visitors. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to be.
Mike, happy 4th of July for you. Thanks for chatting with us. David Cohen.
All All right, we want to break away from the Huntington Beach parade just for a second for an Eyewitness News special report on the earthquake.
Hi, David. Hi, Colleen. Yes, I'm joined by John Gregory here with that breaking news in the ABC7 studio. We all felt the earthquake here moments ago as well, a 6.6 magnitude earthquake, John, in the Mojave Desert.
A big jolt and felt all over Southern California. I know my wife calls from Santa Clarita. She felt it. We felt it here in Glendale. People in Las Vegas felt it as well. So a very large area. Fortunately, it sounds like the epicenter in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, so there's no tsunami warning. We've just learned that as well from officials. Obviously, being in the desert, it's not along the coastline. That's always the first concern after the earthquake. It was also a long-standing earthquake. And as you look at the map and the graphic that we have here from the USGS and Caltech, everyone, Anaheim, Long Beach, Los Angeles, look at San Bernardino as well, feeling that jolt. And as you tune in right now, it was a long-lasting earthquake. At first, we kind of all thought, what is this? And then it just kept going, and the lights started swaying, and then all of a sudden the phone started ringing.
I want to say about 10 seconds I felt it, which doesn't sound like a long time, but when the ground's moving under you, that's a long time. 6.6, we haven't had anything like this, I want to say, since Northridge in terms of magnitude. So this is a significant jolt. There was also another big quake in this area, the Hector Mine quake, a couple of years after Northridge, which was around a 7, which is a very big quake. So this area has had some big quakes in the past, so not so unusual, but certainly it's just been a while for us.
Definitely a rolling type quake for everyone who felt it here. If you have felt it, you can see also the USGS tweeting about it earlier with that 6.6 magnitude earthquake. And just if you have felt it and you are in that region or know somebody in that region, I mean, it is the desert, it is a remote area, but there are obviously a lot of little communities and towns here in Southern California and out in the desert. We are still waiting to find out in some of those areas if there has been any damage, any injuries. We obviously are used to earthquakes here in Southern California, but as you said, John, we haven't had one.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, of that size and that magnitude, as we heard from Colleen and David. So many people out at the parade amidst the music and everything also stopped what they were doing for a second because they felt it.
And keep in mind, we're going to see some aftershocks. It's typical to have aftershocks, especially after a quake of this size. So prepare yourself for that. Usually they're not as strong, but, you know, that doesn't always hold either. So keep that in mind as you celebrate the 4th of July. A lot of people will be celebrating, of course, but we could see some more movement before the next few days are done. This will go on for a couple days. Usually that's the pattern, right?
And we're waiting to also see if we can get any sort of updates or hear anything from the USGS itself. We oftentimes meet with them here at ABC7 and get their expertise. This is the tweet they sent out. I mean, talk about a 4th of July moment. A lot of people, you know, caught off guard. Everyone's celebrating. Everybody at home, too, when you think about it, with their families likely on this 4th of July.
And I'm sure the USGS, a lot of folks are probably out of the office, you know, for the 4th of July. So they're probably working with a skeleton crew and now trying to gather information for us and give us an update on the situation. But that is the latest right now, a 6.6 earthquake in the Mojave Desert, an unpopulated area, but a pretty good jolt. And we all felt it all over Southern California.
And what this does, it also reminds us of what Southern California, what our state, our whole region here is capable of feeling, because that being so far away from the Glendale studio, from Manhattan Beach, the coastline, was felt strongly here. So even though we might not see a 6.6 like we did in something that size in Northridge, closer to more highly populated areas, it takes a strong jolt out in the desert and in the remote areas for all of us to feel it, and also remind us of what we should prepare for should something of that magnitude hit in such a populated area, too.
And the experts are going to... Lucy Jones, do we have Dr. Lucy Jones on the phone right now?
There's her tweet right there.
Okay, so Dr. Lucy Jones saying the M4.2 half hour before was a foreshock. This area had lots of M5 pluses in the 80s, more soon. Okay, so she's gathering information as well. And I mentioned also the Hector Mine quake was out in this area, and Lucy Jones is very familiar with that quake, and I'm sure she'll be updating us on that situation as well. One of the factors, I should say, that comes into play in terms of how we feel this is the depth of the earthquake. Is it a shallow quake? Is it further down in the ground? And that affects how many people feel it and the places you feel it. If it's shallow, I think you feel it more. is how it works.
And Dr. Jones obviously is one of the leading experts when it comes to earthquakes here in our region, and we always go to her for her advice and her expertise in times like this. This is what I find interesting is she's talking about the magnitude 6.6. There's a 4.2 half hour before that was a foreshock. The area had a lot of magnitude 5 pluses back in the 80s. Obviously, we've only seen 2 strong earthquakes, it seems like, recently in this area. But she was talking about recently kind of what they were talking about, those quake storms in other regions in Southern California.
On the phone. Harriet, you with us there? Harriet, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Harriet, tell us again where you're located.
I'm in La Quinta, California.
And what did you feel?
Well, we were just sitting down for breakfast. I had my granddaughter and her boyfriend from San Francisco down here, and all of a sudden, we just felt something rocking. And it kept going and kept going, and I shouldn't have, but I walked into the dining room, and I have 2 chandeliers, and they're swinging like I've never seen them swing before. And it was a little terrifying, to be obviously,
sure.
Yeah.
And have you been through earthquakes before?
Oh, yes. I've lived in California since the 50s, so I've gone through some major earthquakes.
How did this one compare for you?
This was more of a rolling quake. It wasn't a shocking or anything. And it just kept rolling and rolling, and it didn't stop.
Can you tell us about how long it might have lasted, Harriet? I know it's tough to judge time sometimes when these things are happening.
I would say the major part of it probably lasted a good 30 to 45 seconds.
Wow.
In fact, this is the video that we got from Harriet here of those chandeliers swinging from overhead. I mean, we all think about it, and I almost, this one felt as if, okay, it's a little jolt, we'll be fine. Then it lasted so long, Harriet, when you think about it. That kind of freaked me out a little bit more, wondering if more was coming.
Exactly. And just one other thing is just before the quick hit, I have 2 dogs. One of them went freaky.
Okay. So
he knew
and they say
something
the animals
was coming.
will hear it, right, or feel it beforehand. So maybe that's what happened there. Any damage, Harriet?
Thank goodness, no, because I have a lot of glass and chrome and mirror, but nothing, thank goodness, broke. It was a rolling motion.
And you're in La Quinta, so closer to Palm Springs, right?
I'm about 15 miles east of Palm Springs.
Okay.
Okay, so you're out towards, obviously the desert